TOHO back with a brand new box day in association with Summit Kaiju, and this figure is brought to you by Flossie's Gifts. I love shopping with them, just like with Vampire Robots, just like with Hobby Search. Enough talk. Let's open. Got the receipt from Flossie's. And, wow. This is a little bigger than I thought it was going to be, but, you know, nothing wrong with that. We got in on a Memorial Day sale, it was the other day ago, and we got the Godzilla 1999 version 2 30cm figure. Got this because they are having a great sale on it. I've always wanted this figure, but someone always told me, nah. But now, the sale, couldn't say no, got it for a steal. Thank you very much, Flossie's, Mr. John Stanowski, for this. Let's get it open. Okay, so before I open this, let's talk a little bit about customer service. So, there was a little bit of a snafu with this figure when it came in. It's a little banged, the box is a little banged up. Okay, so I was contacted by John, and he was told, hey, the figure's a little banged up, I'm getting a couple of newer, fresher ones in, I still have the other ones. Here's the thing, I don't care about the box. Okay, maybe if I had a mansion to store all the boxes for sentimental reasons, I just cut the faces off of them. Okay, box means nothing. As long as the figure inside is good. Now, you just saw that very quickly I cut all the pieces of tape holding it together. Let's see what the figure looks like on the inside. Well, he smells all right. Here he is inside of his plastic caskets. And so far, so good. I can see the teeth, I can see the face on this end. So far, so good. But let's get him out. Here he is, outside the box. Looks amazing, I love it. Oh. Little gloves. And got his little bootsy off. Set you off to the side just for a sec. Last part, we have the tail. Here he is, so far. Now, let's say it together. This guy has a date with a blow dryer. Be right back. And we're back back with the version 2 Godzilla 99 or Godzilla 2000, and this thing's awesome. This thing is epic. I thought, the buck stopped at the original 30 centimeter. I'll show them in a second side by side. It is a little bigger, but this one looks amazing. I love the dynamic pose that he's in. It's like he's stomping forward like he's about to fight Orga. Looking awesome, like he's turning, about to breathe fire. He's got that instep going. So, alright. Time for the review. What is the face? Let's look at the face. The face. First off, you got the eyes. Those gorgeous, gorgeous eyes. Those brown eyes. Looking great. Each individually sculpted tooth. They all look amazing. Just like the Godzilla 2003 original release. And the Diamond reissue. Looks awesome. The fangs of the teeth just looks awesome. The ears, very pointy figure. And very pointy Godzilla as I'm holding it. It's just digging into my hand. Moving on down to the chest and the neck. The neck really showing off more of the gills, because he's more of an intermediate animal. Something that they brought up in Godzilla Raids again. And you can see like the gills going, something that's been adapted in future films. Godzilla 2014. He's got the gills. You can see them very prominent here. Looking awesome. Going on to the chest, the arms are cocked upward like he's roaring at a approaching target, or he's approaching a target. Looking awesome. All of the charcoal skin with the, all the other little dorsal plates sticking out of it, just looking amazing. I'd like to see like a skeleton version of this Godzilla. See if all these are actually part of him or it's part of the skin, but, it's out there somewhere. I'll have to look it up. Going down to the waist and the legs. His left leg is perched forward, like he's stomping forward, while the other leg is back. If it's not stomping forward, it's more like he's positioning himself to breathe fire, or he's in the middle of a roaring stance. Looking amazing. I love it. Going on to the tail. The tail curling off to the left. It's going to make putting him on the shelf. Right next to the other Godzilla 2000s. Maybe a little tricky, but that's what I like to call good problems. And moving on to the dorsal plates. The dorsal plates looking amazing. And a point of contention for some G fans saying that they don't like the purple dorsal plates. I think they look great with the green, the paint job that Godzilla has in Godzilla 2000 and in Mega Gears. The dorsal plates, if they were like a bone white, he'd almost look pretty boring. You'd had to make them a little more purple or violet, whatever it calls. And they make the suit and they make the motions look, they pop out more. It's all about having that great color palette. See, with the Heisei Godzilla, it was more of a darker skin, plus with the bone white, so they popped out more. And the same thing with the, the Showa Godzilla as well. But when they did the Millennium Godzilla, they wanted to make the suit more green, and if they just did bone white with green, it would have been boring. Now, I'm not saying that it's boring, because later in the Millennium series, they have the Godzilla 2002 and 2003 from, against Mechagodzilla and Tokyo SOS. They made the skin a little darker. Not as much green, but more of like a charcoal gray or a black or what have you. And they made the dorsal plates, bone white, so it all pops out. It's all about having that color palette. And when you have it green, it's great to have something, complemented. And this violet color, or purple, whatever you want to call it, makes the figure stand out, makes the Godzilla stand out. And this is a big favorite of a friend of mine, Damien. I finally got it. And see you at G-Fest, by the way. I love this figure. I'm glad I finally got it. Also, thank you very much, Flossie's Gifts, John Stanowski. Thank you very much. Also, with his very, very prompt getting back to me on a few emails I sent to him, asking about the figure as well. I'm glad I finally have this figure a part of my collection. So, before we wrap up, let's do some comparisons. Let's compare him to the 30 centimeter original release, so this is the Diamond, and here we are. Now, the original sculpt, going to call it, it's not the original release. I wish I had the original release, but no, the original sculpt, he's standing upward at an idle stance. I love that, but I also love the dynamic pose. And this one's curling off to the right, so that means positioning this one on the stand next to it is going to be a little tricky, but that's fine. And they both really complement each other. Now, if only we had an Orga or a Mega Gearus to go along. I'm sorry, I didn't like Godzilla vs. Mega Gearus very much. Now, there's a great counter argument during a video that I did with Mr. Leslie Chambers. Okay, he really, opened my eyes. I don't hate the movie the way how I used to. I used to, not stand that. I just couldn't stand that movie. Now I can watch that and really enjoy. But, I'm getting off topic again. Anyway, so that's what they look like together. Alright, so let's do another size comparison. Another size comparison. Comparison. Okay. We had the favorite sculptor line, GMK Godzilla. Now, as far as the films are concerned, the Millennium Godzilla is, I don't know if it's the shortest, it's the second shortest Godzilla. They go together very well as well. Maybe I can do a little rearranging and have these two next to each other. Maybe. Alright. So, now let's give him a villain to stand up against. A villain. I got it. Muto. There. The friggin' male Muto from Godzilla 2014. Well, that is really not in scale, but, yeah, screw you, Muto. Just kidding, the Mutos were great jobbers to get Godzilla over and make it look great in the film. That's what they were there for. Oh, we got time for one more. Here we go. Mechagodzilla. Them standing up against each other. And I think he's a little taller than... I think Mechagodzilla's a little too tall compared to this Godzilla. Maybe if he was standing straight upward instead of in a roaring stance, they'd be more eye to eye. They were more kind of eye to eye in the film, but yeah. Oh, there's that. So that there is the show. I don't plan on getting any more X Plus or other figures before going to G-Fest. I want to save up some money, save up some cheddar to go to G-Fest and get some special stuff. So I have a little bit of a nest egg set aside, but if something big comes my way and I see a deal on something, yeah, I'll pounce on it so I don't have to bring it home with me from G-Fest, even though that kind of defeats the purpose of it. But, it's right around the corner. I wouldn't really expect any bigger unboxings. I might surprise you, I might surprise myself, but until next time, look for more game footage that I'm going to be doing for Mortal Kombat X. Yeah, other than that, I got nothing else really planned. Until next time, this is GoJJ51 saying goodnight. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. See those of you at G-Fest. And until next time, have a good night.